guys.
Hello, hello.
You guys know the drill. Let us know when you are here and if you can hear and see us. I see we have Margie in the chat already. Hello, Margie. How are you? What's new in your neck of the woods? We got nothing new going on over here. Actually, we always have something new going on. I knew Mark would chime in like, hey, I don't work tirelessly outside on new projects for there to be nothing going on. So there is always something going on over here. So the number one thing that's going on right now, we have a herd reduction. Mark's like, yay, less goats. And I'm like, yay, less goats.
Yeah, Ashley's trying to go through and pick out which ones stay and which one goes. So
it is not easy. I think that is like the worst thing when you're actually trying to like breed for something, whether it's like quality or milk production or whatever, is to go through and assess, especially young animals. But I literally cannot keep all of them. I would love to keep all of them, but I can't. I am very far from keeping every animal that's ever born or brought to the farm. So, hello, Michelle. How are you? I'm sorry I missed your live earlier. We had to go pick up Joe out at the soccer fields.
Yep.
So we missed your live.
Hello, Haas.
Hello,
Happy
Haas.
birthday to Hannah. Saw that on Facebook today.
Yes. How are you and Owen feeling? You guys feeling okay? I know you've been down with Corona.
Yep.
I'm pretty much over mine at this point.
Although she can't smell very well still.
I still can't smell. Like I can taste, but I can't smell. So, and then my taste is a little off because I can't smell. And they said since smell is such a huge part of like how you taste things, some things I like don't taste the same, which is fine. They still taste okay. They just taste different. Yeah. And then I had dental work done this morning. So like I'm still a little sore and numb. I don't even know. I don't know if I'm swollen or not. They put me under gas. That was really like the nurse had to stop and ask. She's like, "Are you okay?" Because like he was in there drilling, and I started laughing. They're like, "What is going on?" But she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I am great." I was just thinking something in my head, and I just started laughing. I don't think my dentist was very enthused that while he's trying to like pull the fillings, or I guess grind the fillings out because they got loose and he had to pull them out and put in new ones. That I was like laughing.
Yeah.
So.
Old Reading
was interesting. Hello, Old Reading. How are you?
Michelle said we are in quarantine buddies with
what?
Haas. Oh,
are
bummer.
you really? I'm sorry to hear that. If it makes you feel any better, Joe only had to stay out of school for like what, 10, not even 10 full days. I let them know like on a Thursday. And the next Thursday, she was allowed to come back as long as she had like a negative test. Yep. And we both work remotely. So I had just started my new job that week too. So even though I was feeling a little cruddy, I won't even say like I was feeling all that bad that I had to work through it. But yeah, I mean, they go through it really quick here. She just has to mask up every day for like a week. So she's done tomorrow masking.
Yep.
So it'll be fun.
Yep.
I'm sorry to hear that though.
Brigitte.
Hello. Brigitte.
Haas said, I miss tasting food. I'm just trusting all the meat I cook is good at this point.
I said the same thing because I was eating like an old, I won't say it was an old vegetable tray, but we had a vegetable tray for my daughter's birthday. And like the next weekend, I was eating from it. And like the broccoli seemed fine, but I don't know. I couldn't taste it. But then I grabbed the carrots and they were slimy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, you don't realize how much your sense of smell is worthwhile. Because I told Mark, like, I don't know if I smell bad, if I need deodorant because I've been sweating. I don't know if because I've just been in the goat pen, if my hands smell like goat poo or something. I can't smell any of it. So I couldn't smell if the food was bad. And I'm like, man, I really want my sense of smell back. But I am starting to smell a little bit. Not a lot, but there are certain things where I'm like, oh, I can smell that. Usually they're not good things either.
Yeah, definitely.
They're gross things.
Joe Mama, hello.
Hello, Joe Mama. How are you? Ashley B, which I guess is probably Willow. Yep. Hello, Crazy Life. Oh. The girls are out until the 27th. Oh, wow. Bummer. Really? Man, that's Indiana just is like, they don't even care, which is cool. I'm fine with that. Joe was didn't have any symptoms. She tested negative. She's fine. She's had like 4 tests. She's okay.
Yep. Old Reading said, bad timing to get right when you get a new job.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And I had to tell my boss because I was like, hey, like I just want to let you know in case like for some reason like I start to dip and I need to take days. Like I was positive. It sucked, but like my brother-in-law, Chad, got it too the week before, and he had just started a new job. So we're both like sitting there like
Yeah.
with remote trading, just like, I mean, Chad was feverish for a few days,
Yeah.
but like I had one night where it was really, really bad.
Jemima says, "How does it start off?" Depends on who you ask. It seems like for me, it was mine was back in February.
Yeah, and I
And
didn't
I
get
had
it then.
a couple days of fever, and then what did I have? Just like aches.
You had fever for like 4 days.
Yeah.
You had
And
fevers
then
for 4 days.
like
The
after the
cough hung
fever,
on.
yeah, the cough came after the fever though, which was weird.
Yeah.
So then I got a cough, and then that was it. I never lost my taste of sense or smell. My
Yeah.
dad's his actually
Heightened.
got
Like he could taste
increased
things like
and smell
a
things
lot.
yeah.
And he was kind of like, he's oxygen dipped for a
Mhm.
couple of days and was fine.
Yeah.
Your mom had fever for a few days. Ashley just had the sore throat. Chad was feverish.
Yeah. So
I
depends on who you ask.
I kind of just felt like icky, but I felt like it was probably from the stress from a new job. And I mean, even when I went to go get tested, it was just because we were going to go to a party with some older folks, and I was like, man, I kind of got like a cold. I hope that's not what it is. So I tested because I didn't want to spread it. That's what it was. I had one night of fever where Mark's like, we're taking you to the hospital. I'm like, no, we're not. Like once I lay down, I'll be able to breathe. And I was fine. I could breathe, but then I got a pretty bad fever that night, but it broke by the morning. I was fine.
Yeah. I was laughing at this. Haas said, I'm going to crop dust my class when I return to work and blame not being able to smell, thinking I could let go and no one would know.
You probably could get away with it.
Unless it was audible. You can't get away that you couldn't hear it, though.
It has to be silent but deadly.
Yeah,
you cannot go trumpeting through our classroom. Or you could just say you lost your sense of hearing.
I don't know how you can keep the class under control after that. I'm sure the boys in the class would just lose it. So
I know how little kids are.
Yeah.
But you're in high school, right? So you teach secondary, whereas in primary, like you would never get them settled down after that. Brigitte, we work in insurance. So we
work with Limu and Doug.
Yeah. Limu, Emu.
Liberty Mutual. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, those commercials aren't as fun when you work for the company, I don't think.
No, they're
then
not
you
as
see me
cute.
like that reminds you of
they're
work.
like on the backgrounds of everything, or like all of the SharePoints or like the home pages.
And then they offer gear all the time. They actually had some cool Converse sneakers
that had Limu on it, but they were really expensive.
Like one had Doug on one and one had Limu.
I want just Limu. I don't care about Doug.
Speaking
Doug's
of that,
just a human.
Somebody just offered
my sister is trying to get me to get emus. I'm like, listen, I've already got way too much on my plate.
We still have fences we're working on too. So
well, emus need like 6-foot fences, and I don't need to add on to any fence. Anybody that's ever done fencing, that's not something you just casually do for fun.
What's this say? Brigitte got me Reese cups for your life tonight. Talk about shrinkflation. These cups are tiny now.
We had some like that. We got like a mixed bag because we had my mom and dad over because I didn't think I was sick, while his mom and dad were sick, and then found out we were sick. We had to push like Joe's party. She got 2 parties out of it though. The kid is spoiled to death.
And there's a third one.
And we got we have a third. But we got the mixed candy, and like the Reese cups are so little.
It was one of those little snack packs.
So. It was, but still, I remember them being bigger than that.
No. Darren, do you guys have the like seasonal Reese cups?
Yeah, like the pumpkin ones.
Yeah, right.
That are out right now.
Ones, and they're like, I think they're sweeter. Like when they do the holiday ones.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe
it's because
just
they're bigger and they have more peanut butter. I think.
Chocolate's thicker too. I think so.
Chocolate. It was one of the first things I could start tasting.
Michelle said herd reductions are so hard, but a necessity if you want to continue to improve.
I know.
Lines.
It sucks because usually like my sweetheart
overrun because we keep growing.
Well, and especially like with goats with like parasites, like you really do have to be careful about the numbers. Even though like our pasture is more than enough for what we have, like parasites are they were an issue this year because it was so wet and warm. It's awful.
Also, help with feed costs going up too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, feed costs, like the last time we bought a bunch of feed, it was like,
like everything else.
Yeah.
It just keeps getting more and more expensive.
Yeah.
So, definitely. What's this one say? And the ones that paper around them, cost cutting. All talking about
that. Yeah.
Yep. There's Nightbot.
I did. And then I got very, very unhappy with like the whole demotion.
Yeah.
I hate to be that way, and I'm not typically a prideful person, but there was the whole like demotion thing that just rubbed me wrong, and then my manager was not friendly like with flex time, whereas my position that I had before, like I could say, hey, I'm going to work 2 hours over because I need to leave 2 hours for a vet appointment or a doctor appointment or take my kids somewhere. My manager was fine then, but when I got demoted to this position under a new manager, he did not fly with that. I liked everybody I worked with, and they were talking about more cuts.
Yeah.
And I got bumped because of seniority, and nobody has come on into that department after me. So like I'm still at the bottom of the rung. So if there was to be like another demotion or like budget cuts where seniority came into play, like I had a foot out the door anyways.
Yep.
So it doesn't mean I might not go back at some point, but I mean, yeah. So now I'm with insurance again. That's where I started, and that's where I've ended back up, which is okay.
Yep. Hello,
Hello, Mama Burton. Shut up, my. Are you really?
That makes faster me... if we just like delivered it.
Yeah. Have you checked on like your tracking number and stuff to make sure? Because I know I kept sending some swag to Emma over at Sunny's place, and she actually had like a mailbox raider that was stealing her boxes. It was ridiculous because she'd actually had like a bunch of swag come to her that week from lots of us because we all love Emma. And yeah, no, she
you
didn't
just
get
need to come down to Homesteaders Convention, then we could.
Yes, right Darren, because we are getting psyched. Like we cannot wait for the Homesteaders of America Convention in Virginia. We are excited. Evelyn, hello. Lady. How are you?
And Tina Ladybug.
Hello, Tina Ladybug. Holidays like Halloween, they just make them. No, they make them in pumpkin shape, and it makes them 10 times better. Darren, didn't you know that?
I think actually.
Don't you guys
like
get the Christmas trees
a little bit
and
bigger.
They are bigger.
Yeah,
they are bigger.
They come in twin packs.
Yeah, but then he's talking about like they make like the fun size ones to like hand out to the trick or treaters.
I eat them like M&Ms. Eat a ton of those.
Yeah, Mark's like these look like they've already been unwrapped. Whenever Joe goes trick or treating, they have not been unwrapped.
Chocolate and peanut butter is my weakness.
He's totally rating her candy.
Haas said, "You know your worth. Ain't no shame in demanding."
That's well, and that's kind of how I felt. And so now with this new job, I work remotely. I got a big pay bump. And I'm saving money on gas. I don't eat out as much. So like all together, like the stress level is lower. I know kind of what I'm doing, even though I work.
That you're stuck here with me.
That's one of the best parts, honey. I love being here.
We ran into the neighbor while we were going out to check the mail together.
He asked how we were still alive. He's like, you guys aren't killing each other. But when we worked in the office, we worked together. So like we're kind of used to that.
Yep, definitely.
Plus I love him and he's awesome, so I don't get sick of him too quickly.
Darren said, "My Mulberry
it's stuck in Montreal." Well, I think you need to go to Montreal. How far is Montreal from you, though, Darren? Yeah. Is that a haul?
Yeah, last night we were watching, always like watching the live stream channels like on YouTube.
Yeah.
And there was like a weather one for tornadoes in Canada that were going on. I think it was Ontario area.
It was crazy.
It was weird. I didn't know you guys got tornadoes up there.
I'm looking, Michelle, to see where we're staying for HAO. Oh wait, it's not very far though. Is it like a 15-minute drive from like the conference center? It's not in Front Royal.
No.
It's or Front Royal or Royale, however you. Are we back? Can you guys see us? Can you guys see us?
Like I moved, slid the mouse, and it bounced away.
Yeah.
Are we back?
We're back. Are we back? Are we back?
I think so. I can see us on.
I hope so. So I'm getting in my email right now, Michelle, to see where we were staying because I had it in my old work email and then it left there.
Yeah, we're not indirectly in Front Royal, but we're in like the next close town. Like there's a bigger town.
I'm trying to figure out where this
next door.
Next door.
Like the town's next door to that.
Yeah, I'm trying to see like where Holiday Inn Express in Stevens City.
Yep.
That's where we're staying. So
which only looked like a 15-minute drive when we did all the.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm sorry, guys, that we kind of dropped off there.
Yeah.
It is bigger. That's what he's. Dang it, Darren. Laughing's about the only thing that pushes me into a coughing fit. So make me laugh, guys, and you're going to get coughed at.
Jump says they're desperate for workers. I keep getting sign on with us and get a bonus
I bet.
in the mail. Yeah.
I bet.
There's a lot of places. They're offering bonuses to even come on board.
Well, I went through Hardee's after my dentist appointment because I was ravenous.
Yeah.
And like I sat there for 30 minutes in the drive-thru, and the guy was like, you could tell, like, you pull up and they're in immediate fear of their customers. He's like, I am so sorry for the way. I'm like, no, that's cool. But of course, I still probably had a little bit of the gas from the dentist appointment in my system. So I was like super chill. I'm like, yeah, it's cool. I just want my food.
Mm-hmm.
Montreal is a 2.5-hour drive, Brigitte.
From there. Wow.
Oh, no, that's a pretty long way.
That's funny. Michelle's like, it's probably closer to her.
Haas, it's in Virginia.
Yep, Virginia this time.
Yeah, it's in Virginia.
I think it's always in Virginia. So,
oops, lost you. Dark screen. There you are, Evelyn.
Yeah. We're catching up on
I know. I don't know if that was like our service or if you got fat fingered over there.
I don't know.
It's probably
in
the
the comments,
honestly.
But yeah,
it's
in Virginia. I think was an 8-hour drive for us.
It's an 8-hour drive.
So,
which we're going to do all the driving on Thursday because the conference is all day Friday and all day Saturday. So that'll give us time to get there Thursday, chill out, relax, hopefully meet up with some other homesteaders. I'm really wanting to meet up with my lovely lady Emma from Missouri. And then we're going to drive halfway back Saturday night.
Oh, Bruce is here tonight.
Yes,
He's
Bruce,
like,
we're back. Yay, everybody's saying we're back. Hey, Chad, how are you?
Yeah, the crazy thing, though, is like we were looking at rental cars. So like if we go on a trip like that, we'll just usually rent a car. Mm-hmm. We get like discounts through.
It's really not that bad of a cost.
But right now, like the cost of rental cars is through the roof.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Really, really ridiculous. Usually it'd be like $150 for a week. It's like upwards of $300. Mm-hmm. Like it is doubled, which I get because of like all the different cars that are making it off lots because we're behind on chips.
Yeah.
So it's
growing.
Crazy. That's all right, Joe Mama. Thank you so much for stopping in, ladies. So glad to see you.
Michelle said, I'll check and see if there's any openings still. I might swing down this year.
Please, Michelle.
Yeah, I felt like the Stephen City, they had some, when we booked it, that was a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
It was, there was still some openings and the prices weren't bad actually.
Yeah.
So
it really wasn't terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Please, Michelle, I would love to see you, lady. Even if you are all about the sheep.
She said we're cutting out again.
Are we cutting out again? Boo! I hope not. I hope that's resolving itself. So it says, we are gathered around the big screen with our chocolate, munchie, and rum, and bam, gone.
I know. I accidentally slammed my hand down on the mouse, and then
you got him all excited about Reese cups and things not shipping.
HLA
it really is your fault, Darren. I hate to tell you this. Take a detour to Layman's on the way there. Why? Why are we taking a detour there, Haas?
What does Layman's have?
Poplar Creek. Hello, Kirsten. How are you? It's okay if you're running late. Hello, Farmer Brad. How are you? It's good to see you guys. Evelyn's still good on her end. Fine. It's fine here. And after the one time, good. I'm glad because we got really crazy storms last night. Really crazy storms, but none today. Everything has been. It is like almost hoodie weather.
Been pretty dry, so
yeah. Which it figures like I've thrown in the towel on my garden. We kind of stalled this week on getting the fencing up for the new garden and the duck pen. But it's just been like one of those weeks so far where we've just had things come up every night.
Yeah.
That we just go. And I'm going to be really honest. Now that I work remotely, like when quitting time comes, like I'm ready to get up and go somewhere. So whereas before I'd come home from the university and Mark would be like, let's go somewhere. And be like, oh my God, I do not want to people anymore. I'm done with people. I don't want to look at anybody. I just want to sit here or be around like the animals. And now it's the opposite where I can feed and do some of my chores like throughout the day on my breaks and lunch. So now we get to have that in common. We get to run and be kind of fun after work. It's different. I love it though. Yes, Farmer Brad, we are going to HOA. We are super excited. Are you going?
Got our room. We're ready to go.
Yeah.
So we'll plan to be there.
An Amish superstore. That's what Layman's is?
Evelyn said she likes to shop there too.
Really?
I would love to shop.
We might need to make a detour. If everybody's saying it's great, because I love me some shopping.
Yeah.
If it's the right type of shop.
Where's it at, Haas? Is it in Kentucky or is it in Virginia?
Because if it's in Kentucky, we're going to be going through Kentucky in October to go down to Tennessee because we always do as a family. We go down and drive each other nuts in a cabin for a week, which is so much. It seriously is like so much fun. It's one of those trips like you come back and things happen that you just joke for like the rest of the year. It's fun.
Definitely.
Like really, we really enjoy it.
Michelle said, "I'd love to see you in real life. I wish we could tuck Kat into it. We could pick her up on the way down." There you go.
If you're still in here, Old Reading, Miss Catherine, Michelle could pick you up on the way. Let's go. Let's go. We all need to meet up. I think it would be so much fun to hang out with you guys.
Definitely would.
What?
We're 27 days away from the first baby cow. So
but you're not counting down or anything, are you, Brigitte? I would count down too for one of those little carry cows.
To see a baby Highland cow. So
27 days from today. So in 27 days from today, I'm gonna be private messaging me like, Brigitte, where's the hookup? Where's the baby cow?
Karen says, "How come it's always my fault?" Brigitte says the same thing.
You know, if more than one person says it, usually it's right. I'm just joking. I'm pulling your chain, Darren. It wasn't you, even though like you are probably one of Mark's man crushes for sure, because you guys are like, you're very much alike. It's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. Job said, "I've worked at home over 20 years. You couldn't drag me to the office." Yeah, it took me a while to get used to not being in the office because I'd always like to run into people and talk to them like on the way to the cafeteria or just talk to a bunch of people around the office. But like I've adapted to being at home. So.
Well, he's actually got a little bit of a position change too. So he's starting a new position at the end of this month, kind of. But the good thing is, though, these are all people that he used to work with in the office.
Yeah, familiar faces.
So he did find that like when he moved positions remotely, that there wasn't like that onboarding and you couldn't just like go to someone's desk and say, "Hey, I really need help with this," or "Will you come sit with me for a while?" You honestly feel like you're bothering somebody like when you work remotely. Like my trainer, I really try not to bother her unless it is like, I've done everything. I've exhausted all of my references, my resources, and now I really need you to pull me out of some deep water here. Yeah. So, but he gets to work with those people again, and it's been really nice.
Yeah.
But it does kind of suck because like his manager now is a newer manager, and he rocks. Like he's awesome. So
definitely
kind of is giving him a little bit of a ickiness leaving because he wishes he had that manager before, or he probably wouldn't have left. So,
but now also you're home, so it's not like
and now the house is so much better with my presence.
And now the dogs don't like lay under just my feet; they lay under hers because I hear her get up, and then the dogs just scatter around. Yeah.
And I'm usually like, "Well, come on, bud, you know not to sit right behind me."
And I try to warn her when I see the UPS man pull up because, of course, the dogs go crazy.
Well, because he's back there and I'm out here. And if I'm on a call, which most of the time right now I am with training, the dogs are going to go psycho. Yeah. And while my trainer has come to love the sound of my dogs, I'm sure it's very not fun being interrupted with crazy dogs. Oh, is it buffering for you? Guys, are we having a hard time? This is not good. You're volunteering, Brad? For morning parking?
Oh, that's awesome.
Can I wait in line until you come to park our car and be like, "No, we're waiting for Farmer Brad"? Yeah.
Well, like look for you as a driver.
But by volunteering, did you get like free tickets in and stuff? Because I thought I saw that on their site. Super excited to go.
That's
like
cool.
We are really like raring to go.
Haas said it's in Apple Creek, Ohio.
Oh, I will have to. That probably might not be that far from us.
Yep.
We're not doing anything Saturday.
Big, if it's on the east side.
Yeah, if it's on the other side. Friends of mine are letting me crash on their couch. Hey, see, so then you don't even have to pay for a hotel. Brad, my man, you've got it all worked out the right way. You do.
Evelyn said Lehman's has an online catalog and ordering, but the store is huge and amazing from what I've seen.
I want to go now.
We may have to make a special trip out to it.
Yeah, I really, really want to go now. Hey, you know, Kat, there's all kinds of meetups all over the place. I know they just have one in Kentucky, which is a haul for you. It would only been 5 hours for us, but we were already busy with a couple of things.
Yes. Farmer Brad said, I worked 2.5 years remote.
Did you like it? Or are you like, nah, I'm done. I need people. Because I know some people
benefits
need
to it, but then there's especially if you're a people person.
Yeah. If you really enjoy social interaction, which and we were actually just talking about this, but you guys actually make the whole remote, and you guys made the whole quarantine thing a lot easier on us, because while we might not have gone out and been able to see or be around as many people as we usually would have, like this is an outlet for us, because we were kind of talking, and actually my sister started working remotely this week, and my mom was asking us like, how do you feel about remote? Like, is there a curve to getting used to it? I'm like, oh yeah, definitely there's a curve to getting used to working remotely.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of benefits. You just have to figure out like what are those deficits? Where is it not good? And then just work on that, because like in our area, it's pretty normal. It's pretty normal now. You can go places, you can go to the gym, you can go all kinds of places. So I don't know.
Yeah. Farmer Brad said also, but now I work from home. I work part days from home. Also travel to Fort Wayne sometimes for training on site.
Fort Wayne's a little bit of a haul.
Yeah. I guess
that is beautiful Amish country, though. Yeah. Like, we are always so interested.
And if you go up 27, it's crazy all the windmills.
Yeah, the wind turbines. They're and I know like they're normal in a lot of places, but they're just like so gigantic. It's like really eerie for us, because like that's not the normal landscape down here in our neck of the woods in Indiana. Like, it is like eerie giants.
Oh yeah,
just out there.
But they just keep adding more up, right?
More
like
and more and more.
Up there.
It's crazy.
So if you don't mind me asking, Farmer Rad, what line of work are you in? I wonder, I'm trying to think what's up there. Haas said, sorry, Kidron, Ohio. My parents lived in Apple Creek, 1 mile from Williams.
So it's
gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's close.
Yeah. Technically, Haas, you were right.
Still doesn't ring about Kidron, Ohio.
It's all about the technically, you know. I've won a lot of arguments on technically. Yeah. Oh, Kirsten, maybe next year though. You've always got so much going on though. Like, you really inspire me, like with how involved with like farmers markets and stuff that you are.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would like to do that. I just don't know how I would balance everything else and do that. So I'm sorry to hear that, but girl, you're rocking it in every other, every way.
Ashley's mom comes and watches the farm for us, so that allows us to head down there. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to with all the animals. It
gets a little crazy.
Farmer Brad said, I had a booth 1 year, but couldn't go to any of the sessions.
Oh, I could see how that would be kind of like icky. It's so stupid, but like, I'm really excited for the booth.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go and get swag. I'm going to come home with like 30 t-shirts. Mark's like, woohoo, because we don't have enough t-shirts in our repertoire here.
I can't say much. When I get orders online and they have stickers, I feel like
he got one today, and he was like holding up the sticker. I'm like,
it's like Willy Wonka and the Golden Ticket.
Hey, whatever makes you happy. It can be the little things.
Yeah. Speaking of stickers, Darren always shows off his, but it's weird. I head back out on the road, and at the end of the month, I can't take my clients out to lunch or dinner. Going to be so strange.
That is weird. That is really weird.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they understand. There might be other things that you can do to kind of.
It's cool that like as more and more people work from home, they're finding more ways to connect. I mean, I know for a lot of the calls now I'm on, and same for Ashley, they require video,
icebreakers, or like team building scenarios. So like ours this last Monday was, he played 3 songs that were from movies, and whoever answered first correctly, like in the chat, got points. And then the next category was like 3 one-hit wonders. I won one of those, but we get prizes at the end of the week. So like we get like little Bravo awards, like little monetary gifts. So it's enough to keep people engaged.
Yep. Old Rating say it's our internet, not you guys. It took all our internet's effort to not buffer during our live.
Bless your
now
heart.
It wants to break in.
You guys have had such a struggle. But I think it's funny though, because like when I watch you in the summertime, it was still light, but like by halfway through now, it's dark there. And I get the spooky vibes, which is totally cool. But like, it's just so sad to see the sun, like the daylight dwindle.
Now they have to use their little lantern.
They have to use their lantern. I know, it's cute. I loved it.
But you can't live without technology, because we just upgraded our phones and something messed up on mine. So every time I text Ashley, it sent the same message three times. She loved that. So I actually started sending more messages just because I thought it was funny, but she got tired of it quick. So
I didn't get tired of it. It just was like, I get it.
Especially if I send a GIF and it just like send it 3 times.
Or an emoji. Which Usually for us, like we're just trying to like poke at one another with
She always has to
emojis.
deal with my shenanigans. So.
And it's fine. That's why I love him. He keeps me on my toes.
Farmer Brad said, at times I felt like a second class
because
citizen.
It says up here, it was for a company that had something on. I could see that because the people do form cliques in the office, 100%. And then if you're remote and you come in like once in a while, they're just kind of like, who are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah, Liberty Mutual, we had that bit just because like the main hub was up in Boston, and then there was like a second headquarters over in, what was that, Seattle? And then they built a third
in Plano.
Technical.
Fairfield, Ohio used to be one of the big hubs, but it's not anymore.
Yeah. So
Emma's in the house. Hi, Emma. Sorry, I get excited. I love Emma.
Brad said, but technology has improved a lot since I've been remote.
Yeah.
Especially with a lot of like the Microsoft Teams and stuff like that. That's what we use, and they've gone a long way to improve it to connect with people. So they even have GIFs on there.
They do have GIFs on there. I think it's hilarious though, because like for us, we have 2 team huddles a week. So on Tuesday we have cameras, which means everybody is expected to be on camera, which is hilarious now because I've already gotten to like that, like hoodie and pajama bottoms or a hoodie and like yoga pants or whatever, and like I'll throw my hair up in a bun. I'm like, oh my god, I have to brush my hair. Yep. So like, yeah, it's funny how that goes.
From Brad said, I'm a UX design developer for a credit union. Cool. I used to be in higher education.
Oh, nice. Which do you prefer? I think higher education would be tough.
Papa Creek said, oh, you just made my day. Working 3 days a week and 3 farmers markets is a bit much.
Can imagine.
3 farmers
markets. Don't know how you do it because you're always like under pressure to have product and to keep in stock and to keep fresh and current and everything. I love looking at other people's like farmers markets booths, especially like the super cute ones. But then I'm like, I would be the one in the corner that's got like, if I did like fresh cut flowers, they'd be all wilted and junk.
Yeah.
I would be like the frumpy one in the corner, like, come buy my honey and flowers, like. I find it extremely intimidating, but you're rocking it over there.
Great salesman.
Oh, give my flowers.
Hello, Money Pit Homestead. I like their name.
I do too. Well, it's because it is so true. Yep. And they're in Kentucky, so you guys are not too far from us. We're up here in Indiana. We're neighbors.
Chad.
Oh, I know who that is, William. Chad, sorry, William grabbed my phone. Yeah, whenever poop pops up into the chat, we know our nephew William has gotten a hold of someone's phone.
That's his favorite word right now.
Poop.
Yep.
He likes the potty humor. He's a little boy.
Drop said too many computer people here. Well, it's YouTube. They got these.
Yeah, we got to be a little bit, savvy. It does help though, because other people are like, I don't know how to do that. I'm like, oh, I've done this for YouTube before. I'll show you how to like format that. Which is, they're like, what? YouTube? And then I'm like, crap, I'm still new to my group, so I'm not really to share that much with them. So. Yet.
Farmer Brad said UX can be a rabbit hole. I mean, what doesn't fall under user experience?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I work with a little bit. I've worked more on the UI side and just messing with the systems and how they users use them. So
yeah, and I just make sure policy prices match what the underwriter said they should be before they go to the customer and cause issues.
Darren said, oh yeah, I'll bring my clients some beer and shine.
There you go.
There you go. Win them over.
Bring that hairy little coo along.
Yeah.
They'll be fine. You bring them that hairy calf, they're going to be like, dude, whatever you want.
Yep.
Replay so. Hello. Welcome. How are you? How's the weather down there? Did you guys get a lot off of Ida? There's new stuff going on down there now. I cannot keep track of all the storms that are making landfall.
Happy to get some of the rain off of it, though.
We really were, but I really hope you guys are okay because you guys are down in like the Louisiana area or Mississippi. You're somewhere in that area because I love watching your guys'
like an hurricane going through there. I think Nicholas. That's more Texas side, I think.
Didn't that land last night?
I think so.
We were watching Storm Chasers on YouTube last night.
That's our guilty pleasure watching those at night. So.
Or like demolition derbies or rodeos.
Yeah.
We're very weird.
Emma said, I'm actually working right now, wrapping up some mocks to present tomorrow. There you go.
Well, good. I'm glad that you're stopping in. I hope we give you some comedic relief.
Yep.
And good luck with your presentation tomorrow. I know that sometimes can be super nerve-wracking. He had one of those today.
Yeah.
where he came in, he's like, I've got a call from like 11 or 12. I'm like, I will keep everything pretty quiet. And again, I came in for my dentist appointment, half-gassed still, so I was mellow.
Farmer Brad said, at the beginning of the pandemic, I would take a screenshot of an empty background. That way I could instantly clean the background. There you go.
I need to utilize, because they have like those nifty little filters where I can make it a forest behind me, but I'm like, you guys can see my backyard. If a goat's out, you get some free entertainment, which like a goat is almost always out right now.
So I'm in the back room, which is like Ashley's craft room, and we converted to office, and actually she'll move back there once she gets her desk. But it's like art all over the wall, so I just do the blur background. So
it's my craft room. You guys have been in there once or twice. It's like fuchsia pink.
Yeah.
I have all these weird paintings and taxidermy.
So one time on my call, they asked like, what's all over the walls? So I unblurred it, and then they were like asking about pictures. I was like, pull them off the wall.
I bet he was like, gosh darn it, my wife. Yeah. I keep it interesting. Yeah, Darren, I said yoga pants. What, you got beef with that? What woman doesn't own yoga pants? They don't see the yoga pants. They
work for farm pants too.
They do work for farm pants. That's why they're always so dirty. Especially when it's super hot out. Not gonna get me in.
And they work perfect if you happen to just break off into a stint of goat yoga.
He knows that too, because he does that all the time. He always is borrowing my yoga pants. Would you just for like a video? Okay, chat. Would you guys watch a video with Mr. Mark here in yoga pants with the goats?
You would lose.
You would lose want to see your opinions.
All right, let's jump back into the chat. Our Brad said, "Create unions better because I get to impact over 100,000 members."
That's so cool.
Oh, that's so cool.
That is
to
really
think about that many people.
You feel connected. That knowing you impact someone's experience. That is pretty awesome.
My film said got a ticket at Dean's Lake in Indiana for not having a life jacket a million years ago.
Yeah, our DNR takes their jobs very seriously.
I actually worked at a canoe rental, and they would watch for canoers that have.
Well, you're not allowed to have open containers on the river.
Too much fun on the
river.
But
the thing was, we didn't care if they ticketed them or they pulled them off the river. But could you let us know that like our canoe and paddles and life jackets are just sitting on the riverbank somewhere? That'd be really nice to know.
Yep. Yeah, because you might want those back.
Yeah, they're kind of expensive.
Michelle said, I have to go read, but I hope you guys have a great week.
Oh, thanks you too, Michelle. Have a good one. Says we just got lots of rain. We were in Central. I thought you were.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that you're okay, though, because like I could not stop thinking about everybody we knew down in that region and just hoping that they were okay.
It was in our homestead we were following, too. Which one was it?
Alderman Farms.
Yeah, Alderman
Farms.
There was like a homestead adventure overland. I can't remember now. But
Homestead Overland he's like in Virginia.
Yeah, it's Josh. Yeah.
He was still getting rain though. Yeah. He was getting rain today.
That was weird too, because then it swung up to like New York and New Jersey and slammed them.
Flooded a lot of people. It was just so crazy.
We didn't get that much rain. So
yeah, we got just enough to make it stay lush and not dried up completely.
Could have used it a couple weeks ago as our garden was ripening up though. Emma said, sometimes I don't like to think about how much traffic we get through our pages. It's in the millions. Oh, wow.
I can imagine. That's a lot of pressure. Yeah, that's a lot of pressure.
Said you're supposed to wear your Daisy Duke shorts when it's hot out.
He does all the time.
No.
I don't own shorts.
Yeah, I don't like shorts.
I don't own shorts.
She will rock the flip-flops out in the barnyard, though.
No matter how many times my feet slip off the flop into some goat flop.
Yeah, or gets...
Stepped on. I get stepped on all the time, even though I know I'm not supposed to wear flip-flops out there.
Yep. Which one hurts worse, a boar goat to step on your foot or a Nigerian?
I don't know. Nigerians
have the tiny.
Tiny sharp little hooves, where like the boars are more. Like the pressure is evenly distributed.
You definitely feel when they step on your foot.
You feel it, but like I don't know. Like the Nigerians is almost like they're trying to pierce through your skin. You're like, oh my god.
Isaac, I love.
You like that video idea, Isaac? On the board.
Isaac's on the board. Emojis up there.
Yep.
Darren said 4 engineers in a car doesn't start. Electric engineer must be battery. Mechanical engineer must be a starter. Chemical engineer must be the gas. IT engineer. Guys, what if we get in and out? Yeah. That's what I heard one time when it was a Microsoft engineer. You close all your windows and then restart the car.
That's hilarious. Because like even when we call IT, like we preference with I have cleared my cookies, I've cleared the cache, and I have restarted already twice. Now what do I do?
And then when you like, I did some IT support for one of the groups I worked with, and like it never gets old how many people are like, "What cookies? I didn't see any cookies."
I know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So
I had one. She didn't realize that like an Excel workbook that there are multiple like tabs she could go to. She's like, I don't see that. I'm like, look down at the bottom. Those tabs. Click on them. It's interesting.
Yeah. Although whenever I see the cookies, it does make me want to go grab one. So if there's Chips Ahoy in the house, I always get.
That's why they go
sacked.
so fast.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I would share that video like wildfire. I wouldn't watch it, but make sure others did.
Watch it.
Haas.
There you go.
Perfect response.
It would be more terrifying than that cave video you shared a little bit ago. You showing how like this kid was in a tight spot in the cave, and it gave him like claustrophobia. You know how.
I don't know. I think it'd be a good video.
One thing that's cool to see is what is it? The underground lake. What's that down in
the Lost Sea?
The Lost Sea, yeah, down in Tennessee. So there's like a huge lake under
in a cave underground, and they take you
discovered.
out in a boat, and you can like feed the fishies.
Have been there, but it's awesome. Like they have lights because it's totally dark.
Well, there's a lot of history, like in the cave, like for the Civil War and all kinds of things, like where they were mining like the back guano and everything like that for gunpowder. So it was really, really interesting. And then we went to Mammoth Cave, and then there's the Tuscaloosa Cave down in like not too far from Kate's Cove in Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
So I like caves. Caves are super interesting.
What's funny is they stocked it with was it trout?
Yeah, trout. To see if they would find a way out for that water, to see if it would flow out, but it didn't flow out anymore.
Yeah. So all the trout are in there swimming around. You just see the shadows under the water, which is sort of cool. So it looks like you started
Racerback. I could give him a Racerback, Emma.
Mark,
I have a couple Racerbacks.
You could rock the yoga
pants. Couldn't he?
I don't know, Darren. You look.
He's got
you
some
would probably
nice
look
calves.
better in your onesie than I did in my. Than I would in yoga pants.
Darren, if we ever get to meet face to face, you have got to wear the onesie, and Mark has to wear yoga pants with a Racerback. I'm totally down for that.
I'd bend over and split the seam in them. I know I wouldn't have the balance Darren would have either. I'll bring it up again when you start.
Speaking of breaking the seam, so over the weekend we had his family up for Joe's birthday party, and it's funny because like my sister-in-law was a cheerleader, and she was talking to Willow, our niece, about cheerleading and how they were doing like toe touches in the air, and of course his brother was like, "I can try that." Went to do it, split his shorts right down the middle. We all were like, "What was that noise?" He's like, "God just split my pants." Yeah, that wouldn't happen to Mark though, right? Yoga pants have more give. I haven't seen anybody split yoga pants yet.
Oh, we got Illinois. Is that Miriam?
That's new.
Yeah. We'll sit in the corner and see what you have to say.
Oh goodness, that's we go all over. We're talking about my husband in yoga pants right now, and Darren in Canada in a onesie. Yeah, that's where
Darren
we go.
says, "Love me some flip flops, but my best ones blew out and haven't found a replacement." Yeah. You need solid
I've
ones.
worn mine to death, and I'm bad for getting like the $2 ones at Walmart and wearing them until it's like there's no support whatsoever, which there usually isn't to begin with.
We're gonna have to switch to winter boots soon, the mud boots. With winter coming,
boo, boo.
Do you have any winter garden stuff you're putting out this year?
We're getting ready to move our entire garden.
Yeah, so that's going to be a lot of work.
So whereas I would like to have put in a fall garden about 2 or 3 weeks ago for like the first time ever, because we're moving our garden, that just isn't feasible. So I'm focusing my efforts on like breeding season for the goats, hunting season. Our deer season opens up here in like 2 weeks.
Also, design the garden because the dimensions are a little different. So we're probably going to have to change up our garden box size. Basically, because we're going to have to make sure we have the proper walkways through.
Well, and it's also pulling out our old garden, our raised boxes, and evaluating and seeing which ones can we salvage and which ones actually probably just need to be like redone completely. So we need to get the duck pen first.
Yeah.
So the garden is on the back burner completely. Like I want to get the duck pen done and permanent and everything. I was out there clipping flight feathers. So like the ladies that are used to flying across my yard, some of them I caught and some of them I didn't. So you have these ducks flying at full speed across the yard. And then you have like their poor little compadres that did get their feathers clipped that are just like running as fast as they can to keep up. I'm like, I am so sorry, but I'm so scared like in a few weeks to a month, like they might fly away.
Yeah.
because
Although they've done pretty good sticking around. So
well, the other ones have their flight feathers clipped.
Yeah.
So I mean, if Mother Nature speaks and says it's time to migrate, they're going to listen. So
yeah.
just like the Ross's goose did.
Yeah, part of the problem though is too they're setting up on top of the chicken coop now and just sitting and
pooping everywhere,
perching in different places. So that's a different thing about Muscovies too. They like to perch. So.
Yeah, well, they've got that additional claw on the back, so that's perfect for clawing the crap out of you when you're trying to catch them and roosting up in a tree.
Yeah, they're pretty cool ducks.
They use it for both often right now.
Drop said, yeah, last time I went to Walmart, they didn't have the flip-flops I wanted. Oh, that's the
Dang
worst.
it, Drops, isn't that the worst?
You go to pick up something specific, and they don't have it there.
Hey, if I thought that I could pick out one that you would like, here they're all on clearance right now because it's the end of the season.
The one thing we like about, we'd like to hit the Goodwill a lot. Goodwill, different ones in the area. And there's one near us that generally has like a lot of the Carhartt and the farmer gear that we've always been
we go in there all the time.
And of course, getting at Goodwill, it's always discounted. So
yeah, we're trying to teach our daughter. We were both raised like I didn't get like designer clothes. I didn't get to go to the mall. So we're trying to teach Joe that as well. Like it's a treasure hunt. And I really enjoy it.
Like, a lot of the thrift stores have that designer stuff now.
They do.
Like surprising.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Like I found pretty often Carhartt stuff, Dickies. I like their stuff to wear around the farm.
We find good.
And then even like outdoor stuff like Columbia and stuff that I've had good luck with holding up. So
yeah.
And I also it makes me feel better about all my jeans with holes in them because then it looks.
And they're in style.
Yeah. I don't think all the mud stains and the poop stains are in style though.
Distressed. Totally in style.
There you go. Darren said we joke about being monkeys and throwing poop at our computers when they go down.
Feels that way sometimes, doesn't it?
Too. Money Pit said
plenty of caves in Kentucky. Yes.
Yeah, definitely have a bunch down there.
We love it. We try to make it a point to like stop at a lot of different places on our way down to Tennessee every year.
Patty's here tonight. Hello, Patty.
Patty, hello, ladies. So good to see you.
Poplar Creek said, girl, I feel you with moving the garden. I said, forget it to the fall garden. Yeah.
It makes me feel like such a failure, though, because like the ducks ate my spring and my summer garden. So I'm like, we did get corn. And our jalapenos are actually making a comeback. So we were like, I don't know what ate all the jalapenos and all of the leaves. They're actually coming back. I'm going to probably get a late season jalapeno harvest. But it makes me feel like such a failure because like the whole homesteading, you see like people with these beautiful gardens, and I want to be one of those people, but you know, bugs and ducks and life just have like this year just totally screwed us over when it comes to a garden. Next year is the year of the garden.
Yeah, but it'll be in a much better spot next year too. It's gonna be up closer to the house.
It will.
It'll get actually better sun because where we have it now, there's some overgrowth of trees.
Well, and it encourages blight in a lot of my tomatoes, so I fight blight a lot, and it's because of the soil down there and also like the location.
One thing we're going to try to do too is pulls the topsoil out of those boxes as we bring it over and put it back on top because we do have a lot of plants that replant themselves.
Yeah,
and
so
we
like the
want to keep
jalapenos.
The strawberries definitely.
The strawberries,
too.
yes.
Yeah, we have 2 or 3 boxes.
Well, I had a lot of volunteers for lots of different heirloom tomatoes. So next year when we put all the dirt in, it might be a hodgepodge all over.
Try to fill a lot of the box because ultimately our garden's probably going to be about 3 times bigger, at least the garden box section. And you're going to try to fill in the bottoms of it with a lot of logs you'd mentioned and filler material so we don't have to use so much
We're
dirt.
going to be doing the hugelkultur for sure.
Yeah.
Because we actually, because the tree that went down in the goat pen, that would be perfect. We actually haven't taken it all the way down because it is kind of dicey. The more we look at it, the more apprehensive we are to actually take it down. So a lot of those logs will be used at the bottom for the base. Fall's approaching, so we'll have tons of leaf litter. We have compost all the time. We have manure all the time, and then putting that nice fine layer on the top. So I'm actually really excited to try that because that'll be our first time working with hugelkultur.
Yeah, because when we originally put the boxes in, we got some fill dirt from someplace. And I'll be honest, it was probably not the best
sandy.
Dirt. Yeah, it was sandy. And then there was also like clumps of clay in it. So it just was a mix of, like I said, when we dig here, you never know what
clean, but not the best for gardening.
Yeah.
Like fill, it's fine. But for garden, it really wasn't
we got some from the bottom of a pond and it was
that one wasn't bad.
bad. Yeah,
That one wasn't bad. That was actually pretty nutrient rich.
yeah. So Darren said, still waiting to see any bucks on our trail cam.
See, we don't put out trail cams. We kind of just go out there and what's out there is out there. But we do have steady traffic.
Yeah.
That way, but I really need to get out.
And her parents tell us when how frequent they see traffic.
Yeah.
They sort of keep an eye out. So
it's usually after I've left my stand, and my mom's like, "There's a huge buck outside the window." I'm like, "Well, that's great." Like I've been gone for a few hours.
Lately, we've been itching to go squirrel hunt. We want to slip down there and do that.
Yeah.
So just a matter of time and.
We have plenty of ducks and chickens in the freezer now. We just need to focus on some other protein sources.
Yeah, definitely. Drop said, I like the flip-flops with the cloth band. Yeah.
I like those too, but because I wear them in the barn often, like, they don't work for me. I have to have something I can like hose off real fast.
Yeah. You did get some slip-ons, but you can't wear them in the barn.
I got some nice Ariat slip-ons. I treated myself. I've been looking at them for years.
Yeah. Ashley switched me over. I used to like Justin, but then she tucked me in the area and been happy with them since. Yeah. So for me, Justin's work too. But Darren said, "Oh, pro tip: the deer love the cow horn and protein mix. We had one doe stand there for like the entire day eating it all. Did not want to eat. Did not want to leave. I should say.
That's one of the only bad things about Indiana. We are not allowed to bait.
Yeah.
And if if a DNR officer for some reason were to come, if there was a kernel of corn on the ground, he'd bust us. Yeah. They fine us to death.
No, Patty said stores here are getting cleared out in a heartbeat.
What, Patty? Why?
I saw at the Walmart. There was some like sections that had empty shelves, but it wasn't like overly bad. Like
that brings me to my next thing. Guys, I'm gonna have to start buying milk from the store because I'm drying up all my girls, so I don't really have any milk left from the goats.
Yeah.
I'm drying them all up, getting ready for next year's kid crop. Oh, bye, Haas. I guess that's okay. So, Owen, we said hi.
Drop said, I know how to make duck sauce.
Ooh, that sounds good.
There you go.
I've never cooked duck before, and I'm finding it a little bit intimidating.
But the Muscovy's meat is definitely redder. You can see
way
it in the freezer.
Redder. Yeah. It's crazy how much darker it is.
Mm-hmm. You don't realize it until you put it next to a chicken. You're like, wow, there's a big difference.
Whoa, it is very defined in its color.
Pandy said, I'm looking forward to leaving this garden behind, and that in spite of not knowing what I will have to grow in next year.
It's good to have a change though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there is something really liberating about like leaving a specific setup and knowing there's something new.
Yeah.
Even though it's the unknown, like it's exciting. Like we're excited for this new garden. I told Mark, like, this is the only project all year that I've been looking forward to. It's just like, with COVID, going through COVID, and then just like everything getting in the way. I'm like, I want to get it done, but you know how it is. Sometimes projects shuffle for importance. We got a lot shuffling.
See a lot of the garden products that are out there nowadays.
Yeah, like, we hadn't looked at raised garden beds in forever.
Because we were looking at metal ones possibly. I'll probably end up just building additional ones, but we were just looking at different options.
We were just dreaming if we could just throw money at it, if what we would do.
And getting new garden tools. There's a lot of different things out there for that. Yes, new garden
tools, all kinds of things. Yes.
Ashley found for the garden boxes, what works really well is she bought a little electric rototiller that's easy to lift and manage.
It's perfect. And the way that it's got like a shut off. So if like there's anything that puts too much torque on like the blades, like it will stop. Instead of stripping itself out, it stops, which I kind of like that.
And it actually tills pretty
it does. Like it will eat if you let it. And that's nice.
So that's definitely like helped us a ton turning soil in those boxes because she used to do it by hand, which was a pain.
Yeah,
so
it sucked.
Darren, when you want to have a nice garden, but you have ducks.
The ducks won't free range though. Yeah. I will keep the ducks out of there for the most part.
That's what we say.
The goats actually don't go over to that side of the garden when they get out. It's just the ducks.
Yep.
Though the goats will eat my blackberry bushes in a heartbeat if they get out.
Yeah.
They haven't gotten out to them this year.
Darren said we're going to streamline the garden: carrots, peas, potatoes, leeks, and onions. Forget about them. Yeah, you guys had a wide variety.
Guys did have so much.
Did that the first couple of years.
It kills you. Yeah. Because like you do find that while the variety is fantastic, and I love going out and seeing all these different things, They all need something a little bit different.
But
you know?
Ashley also found a way to sort of itch that, or scratch that itch is to plant like one thing that's different that she hasn't tried before this year. What was it?
It's Kajari melon.
Yeah, it tasted like
and they were really good. Basically. They tasted just like honeydew, but they were kind of like a tomato though. Like I pulled them off, and that's when they ripened.
Yeah.
They turned bright
but the
orange
funny thing
like
is
in 2
the
days.
outside does not smell pleasant.
It smells like poop.
Yeah.
It smelled terrible. Like my mom was over. I'm like, look, I have a Kajari melon. You want to try it? And she smelled it because usually melons are very fragrant on the outside. And she's like, I don't want anything to do with this melon. So I cut it open. I'm like, no, you're going to want to taste this. And she loved it.
Yeah. So that was just something new she tried this year. So to sort of help with it, she always wants to try new things. So she'll just pick something. And
I try to just do one thing a year. And if it likes our soil and I liked growing it, it'll be in the lineup next year. If not, I just move on to something.
And then we have all the staples, of course, like corn, peppers, tomatoes,
cucumbers, peas.
So definitely agree with you, Darren. Know that.
And Drops has a great point. It doesn't matter what the garden looks like. It's what you get out of it that counts. That's 100% true.
I will say that it's overwhelming when you look and there's a lot of weeds and you feel like you're responsible for pulling them out. Like this year, it was like
he did
after
that.
The fair. It was getting out of hand.
But like he did that. This is the first year where he was like, "I'm gonna go weed the corn." I was like, "Have the heck at it, buddy. You'll figure out why I don't ever weed the corn after the first 2 or 3 weeks."
Yeah, but it turned out.
It did turn out well, and it was beneficial for the corn. Although I usually use the tall weeds as mulch around them, and he didn't like that. He's like, "No, we're pulling these out."
One year she tried to use straw as like a weed blocker, and that made it tough when we went to rototill.
Yeah, I was going to say it worked as a weed blocker,
especially with our soil.
We didn't let it break down enough before we went to rototill back in, and that was a mistake.
Yeah, it was really tied up the tines for us. So I think it depends on your soil type too.
It does.
Ours was had so much clay in that area. Emma, I was planning a nice fall garden, but then I talked to Matt about future projects and our plans to totally redo the garden. You are going through the same thing. It sounds like then we are getting ready to do. Yep.
It's exciting, but it's also very frustrating. Like
a little overwhelming.
It is.
First think about it.
It is overwhelming
because we finally just jumped into setting posts. We've been thinking about all summer, and finally, this couple weekends ago, decided all right.
And then I'm terrible because I'll go and look at Pinterest, and I'll go and look at other people's gardens on YouTube, and especially like the big guys.
Yeah.
I like to look at the big guys on YouTube's garden videos, and I'm just like, mine will never look like that. But then I also have to sit there and think, this is their living. Like most of those really, really big YouTubers, like this is their living. This is why their gardens look like this. This is not my living yet. Maybe ever, but that's a difference.
Definitely. Patty said the larger metropolitan areas, why stores get cleaned out so fast. Yeah, or there's a higher density of people. Heart. Yeah.
That's, that.
We're fortunate we're all far enough out.
We are. But that just sows more fear, and then people start buying more because they get more alarmed when they see the shelves like that.
There's big cities not too far from us, but
but we're not
where
really
we're at. Close. They still have a good distribution chain coming through and filling our stores at least for us. So we've had good luck so far.
We have.
I get that toilet paper craze last year. It took a couple weeks, but it finally hit us. But we were a little bit behind the curve. It did
subside though,
which was nice because we heard it was coming, and we bought like a couple more rolls, but we actually were in good shape.
I was storing leaves from the fall time.
Yeah. She was ready to go. Oh,
I was going to go survival and wilderness woman.
Darren said we are now debating goats more. Do it, Darren. The farmer we buy out hay from will sell it. What sells us goat's milk. However, to deny Brigitte get. Yeah.
Do not deny her. Brigitte.
Yeah.
Girl, get you some goats.
You've got 2.
I'm not biased at all. But you should get some goats. Right here. You should get some goats.
Drop said, I got a little electric tiller. It works for me.
Yeah,
we've been super happy with it.
Well, because like our usual gas ran tiller is a monster.
Yeah.
I couldn't even get it in there by myself if I wanted to.
Works great for tilling up a big garden area.
It does, but like tight spaces, it's just not maneuverable. It's not. It just wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work. So it's perfect. Oh, this person is I'm off to do something, even if it's wrong. After my own heart. 100%. Just don't get in trouble.
Yeah.
But you have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with us, by the way. You were new in here. It was nice seeing you.
Drop said, I know how to make duck sauce. It was a joke, but yes, I do know how to make it. There you go. Yeah, we're trying to think of the best way to make or use our ducks. So we have the Instapot. Yeah. So there's probably a ton of recipes out there how to cook them, but
yeah. And I'm totally inept as a cook.
Yeah.
Like I really suck.
You
did say yep, didn't you? I didn't even catch that until he told on himself. But I was talking to my sister-in-law about cooking our chickens in the Instapot. And she's like, yeah, I take mine out and then I pop it in the oven for like 10 minutes because the skin, I like it to be a little crisper. Mm-hmm. And me over here, I'm like, I never even thought to do that. I was just like, I'll take the skin off, I guess, because I don't want to eat like rubbery, sloppy skin.
Yeah.
And it worked perfect. I did it this last week and was like, I felt like Gordon Ramsay would have been like.
But one thing we had issues with too is like the fair chickens. We waited so long to butcher them. I mean, they were big. They were big. I mean, some of them were close to 6 pounds. Yeah. So that Instapot, it was like
it's almost too much
wedging them in there to try to get them to fit.
I couldn't put them in frozen, even though you can cook a chicken in the Instapot frozen. Like there was no way. I needed to thaw so I could get a little bit of flexibility to kind of like get it down in there.
Yeah. Chop said a lot of the stuff I grew was for chickens. We definitely know how that goes.
Yes.
Yep.
We're actually talking about putting a couple raised beds behind our chicken coop specifically for chickens.
Yep.
So that we have like our own little chicken garden.
Jaren said, yes, I found a few much from my package clears customs. I will rock the Mulberry swag.
I can't wait. You have to do pictures.
Patty said, here in this part of Oregon, discounts are not as good as they are in other areas of state and country too. Even thrift stores are pricey. It's not.
That sucks. Well, Patty, you're just going to have to come out to the good old Hoosier State and visit us. We'll put you up for like a week and you can raid all of the secondary shops here, all the thrift stores.
Yep.
There's nothing like getting a great pair of jeans for $2.
Yep. Mr. Boots and Bounty.
Mr. Boots and Bounty, welcome back. Hello. How are you?
Drop said Brussels sprouts, chard, mustard greens was mostly for the chickens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, recent, or was that this year or last year? You grew the greens for the chickens. Remember, you grew the fodder.
Yeah, the microgreens, the fodder. And Drops does a lot of microgreens and fodder.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Which is big. I mean, that's definitely a growing area.
Who else did that? They were in the UK though. I cannot remember if that was Fork and Allotment did a lot of it too.
But then also during the summer, we basically let a lot of our chickens free range. So we just let them out during the summer. But then we did have issues.
It's just hair. It's just hair. And it's not your hair. It's dog hair.
But with the hawk, it made it where we were worried about letting them free range much because that hawk was
there's 2 of them
rapidly declining our
They flew through the yard today. Yeah. But our ducks have gotten really savvy. Not to mention that mowing down that back half of our property cut out a huge portion of predation that was happening for our chickens and our ducks. So as long as we keep the back half of our property mowed where the hawks can actually see the snakes and the vermin and rodents, we're fine.
Because it was getting up near like knee high where
I'm sure they had trouble getting down into the grass. Yeah.
But it definitely helped keep them back there. And not to mention our ducks, we just don't have the little ducklings anymore. Now most of them are getting
they
more adult size.
Ducklings. Yeah. But I think that's funny though, because like a lot of people be like, we don't do anything with that, or just bettering the land like that, because actually like the bush hogging eliminated a lot of like the noxious or toxic weeds that were dangerous for our goats or for any other grazing animal. If we wanted to at this point, we probably could run someone to bale hay out of that back half of our property because we've bush hogged it. We've taken care of that property enough now, and keeping it mowed down pulled the hawk back there to pull the predation away from us up here.
Yeah.
Which is just kind of funny, like when you take care of land and then when you're a good steward of the land, that it kind of the balance is kind of restored again. And I kind of like that.
And one nice thing is keeping it mowed down more. We've noticed it's basically turned into a nice pasture.
Super nice pasture.
Where before it was almost like sticks as soon as you cut it because the weeds were so thick.
Yeah.
So
it was
definitely turning
it was real
into
woody
a nice
weed.
area
it wasn't like
the fence in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's turned into actually a really
There's a lot
nice spot on the
alfalfa
property.
back there too, or clover. I mean,
Clover.
yeah. So
it's like hot dang, we got
no,
alfalfa back
clover,
there.
sorry. It's cool though, because like I'll go through and cut it, and I'll send pictures to Ashley of different flowers that pop up, and like each time I cut it, there's something new that pops up in the field, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So
he sent me, what was that, milkweed, which I was super happy because the monarch butterflies lay their eggs on there. The caterpillars consume those, and we get a lot of monarchs from them. So I'm like, please don't mow those down, even though those are toxic for goats. They don't eat them.
Yeah.
So.
But we do have a flower bed we put up front, which we call our pollinator garden. And we're trying to.
Which our neighbor thinks is just to try and.
Yeah, he was asking me the other day when I checked the mail. He's like, "What is this grown up spot in your front yard?"
I'm like, "We're trying to."
Which is not our front yard because we live way off the road.
Yeah.
It's more just a section up by the road. But
but like we've got like wild bergamot up there, coneflowers,
she's bought some
daylilies,
quite a few varieties of flowers.
A lot of native flowers that native pollinators
we transplanted some from the back fields. Plan to do that more too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, I want to keep
Brigitte
some of the native pollinators.
Goats.
Yes, goats. Do it, Brigitte.
If it was
do
me,
it.
I would have said with the Y-A. Yeah.
Yes, goat.
I do have to mess with Ashley. She doesn't like
when I do it
like
to her. Queen.
Yes.
Yes.
Drop says the base for duck sauce is apricots.
Ooh.
There you go.
I'm excited. I'm excited to try the duck.
You eat apricots?
I'm not adventurous, but like in my older age, I am getting more adventurous.
Because they're in like different trail mixes and stuff. I've bought dried apricots.
I've had apricot candy.
I think it's a little different.
It wasn't terrible.
Just throw that in there with the sweeten it up.
Cooking ducks and like opening the hard candy apricot flavor and just like throwing it in there. It probably would melt down into like the syrup though. It probably wouldn't be as good as like natural apricots.
Pork with Mountain Dew. Like
it tenderizes though because of the acidity in it.
Yeah.
It really does.
And then the sweetness would cook into the pork.
Well, that's why a lot of people use pineapples when they cook meat because the natural acidity in pineapple helps to tenderize meat.
Yeah. Karen said, we've been borrowing a friend's rototiller for the tractor, but most of the times they're broken or worn off, so I need my own now. Bummer. Yeah, rototillers are a little expensive. We definitely want one for our tractor when we move our garden. So we're talking about moving the garden beds, the raised beds, close to the house. We'll have a section there. And then just the open garden where we do the corn, and Ashley does like a little section of wildflowers she likes to play around with, and where a lot of the
win-win situation
melons
for
and
everything.
Pumpkins, everything is. Yeah, we'd like to have a garden like a garden or a tractor tiller. Because using
it would make that a lot easier.
Yeah, it takes quite a bit of time. It works fine. Just you got to dedicate time to do it.
Yeah.
And usually go over it 2 or 3 times.
And we're not getting any younger. I hate to be that way. And we can usually muscle our way through it. But there are just times where it's like, if you can take the shortcut, take the freaking shortcut. Make it easier on yourself if you can.
Yep.
I felt so bad for him because he was trying to tell me what he wanted to do with this area. And I am a very visual person. Like, I need to see it before I can like sign off on it. And he's like talking, he's like really excited about it. I'm like, I just can't see it. Like, I'm just going to trust you. I feel so bad for him because like I need to visually see things like that. Anybody else do that in here? Tell me I'm not alone.
Yeah. I could do a better job explaining it though. Usually when it turns out well though. Once it
usually does. Like, and I should trust him because when he designs something by himself, it's pretty much he's covered like all aspects of it. I should trust him more often.
I do ask for input though, because I mean honestly, like there's
does.
Pieces to it that I know she's.
Well, there are times where I'm like, hey, this is something I would need this area for to move goats through. Like, you can't do it that way, but we could do it this way, you know.
Drop said, just wish there was a market for microgreens here. Most of the restaurants hired retired Army cooks.
Oh, boo. See, we've got that university not far from us, and they're pretty bougie.
Yeah.
Like, we probably could sell microgreens at a farmer's market easy.
Up towards Indianapolis that's done well, too, as a business.
Yeah.
He actually started selling to restaurants in the area. So maybe they'll get some of those restaurants in your area drops.
You never know. You never know.
It seems like they're spreading.
Yeah. People, it's a more popular thing to happen nowadays.
Yeah.
I'll make them for my chickens, and then I will sell them to people.
There you go.
Oh, this isn't for chickens.
Patty said, welcome to Chickenlandia.
Yes.
I recommend sprouting chicken feed because it reduces cost It's great for the birds.
I had never thought
I
about
think she
that.
actually ferments it too.
I've heard about the fermenting because
What's
like
the
you
benefit
get more
of fermenting?
you get more bang for your buck. So like basically the feed will absorb the water, ferment it, which makes it easier for it to break down, which is less difficult on their systems, but they eat less because it expands, it fills them, and it is easier to digest for them. So you actually save a lot of money by fermenting feed. I thought about doing this with the chickens and the ducks this winter, especially because like most of the time these guys like to free range. So my feed bill goes really high in the wintertime and it kind of really sucks. So I've been looking at ways to kind of cut corners in ways that I haven't before. But I never thought about sprouting from the chicken feed. That makes total sense to do it that way.
Yeah. If you ferment enough, you might end up with drunk chickens too.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, if that's
they're already funny enough to watch, so add that to it. Never know what type of entertainment you'll end up with.
Mark in yoga pants with drunk chickens.
Yeah, that'd be quite the clickbait there.
I see where this is going.
I could see that. Oh God, Brigitte, rabbit is so yummy. Yeah,
we've had rabbit before.
Yeah, we've had it.
But it gets so weird. People around here will talk about like the wolf worms because it's obviously because it you have to make sure that you're taking it in season here because it gets so warm. Yeah. So we usually don't.
Yeah, we thought about raising rabbits for meat, but we ended up getting the ducks and been happy with them.
Yeah,
and then
maybe
we
in the
started
future.
butchering chickens. Yeah,
but we're also hoping to get hogs in the future, and I would much rather the hogs over rabbits.
Job said my dad was from the Depression area, Thorian. They called rabbits four-legged chickens. We had a rabbit at least once a month. There you go.
That sounds good.
Yeah, rabbits reproduce so fast. You can
they do.
Get your,
I can see why people use them, and that's honestly probably why they're one of the easiest things to start homesteading.
That's one thing we like about the Nigerian dwarfs too is they mature. Yeah, fairly fast.
They do. They actually grow the fastest out of almost all of the different goat breeds.
Proportionally, they're smaller goats,
but also their milk is one of the highest in butter fat. So their kids get super nutritious
before.
milk.
I've been scraping off the cream off the top and using it in my coffee as coffee creamer, which has worked out well. Just adding something else.
Well, that's coming to an end soon, buddy. I'm so sorry.
I know.
My hands are saying thank you though. Taking a break from milking. Yes.
Patty, pollinator. Yes. I love it. T-shirt
idea. 100%, Patty.
That's almost like herd queen. Thank you.
Yes. Dilly. Long live Queen Dilly.
My sister, she has a herb goat farm started. She posted on. She started her own page too, and designated her title as herd queen.
Yeah, it said she started a new job at Willful Minis, and it's like the new job title was herd queen. I'm like, that is perfect.
Drops again the apricot tree and then point at it. Know what this is, ducks. I like that.
Especially when they're eating the rest of their garden. You're like, do I need to pick some apricots?
Darren said we harvested 11 this year and hopefully double it next year. You guys have been harvesting all kinds of stuff.
You guys have been super
busy.
You guys have been like just a survival couple this year. 100%. You make me very jealous. You make me feel inadequate.
The ducks did a better job harvesting than
I didn't have to feed them a whole lot. They just were really good free ranges.
I'll say this summer just flew by though.
It really did. It did with softball.
Softball at the beginning of the year.
But I will say, we've been in a little bit of a time warp though because of quarantine and shutdowns and everything else with the big
You feel like you blink and a month goes by.
It's just, and I think that's what it was. We got so used to being home and having lots of time at our disposal to going back to it being normal. It was like, crap, I kind of liked having all that time at my disposal.
To make up for lost time, so you're trying to go out and do more things.
Burnout.
And definitely.
I experienced hard burnout, especially YouTube wise, in the month of July. I just could not do it.
Drop said the microgreens is a good business if you've got the market for it and more profitable than just farming crops. Yeah,
100%.
Especially
with small space and it's not a seasonal crop. You could do it year round if you really wanted to.
Drops also said you can buy a big bag of black seed sunflowers, sprout and grow, and that's usually the type of sunflowers used in more microgreens.
Yeah.
Which we definitely pass ours along to a rabbit. The black sunflower seeds. That's what we feed him. Ashley buys them by the bag. And,
he gets them as a treat every now and then.
Yeah. You feed
I give
to
them to the
goats
goats
too.
all the time because
They
they're
have a
super
lot
high
of
in
good
protein.
nutrients in them.
Yeah. I just have to be careful with the bucks because of the calcium to phosphorus ratio.
Oh, yes, this is something else about flaxseed. Sunflowers are so much cheaper at the feed store.
They are. They're
That's
only
part of the
like
reason, too.
$15 a bag, like for a 50-pound
And
bag.
right now, with the way I guess you said the feed is rising, it's trying to find things that you can supplement or add to sort of act as
My
filler.
normal chicken feed is like $25 for a 50-pound bag. Like it rivals the higher supplements for goats. But then again, like chicken keeping and poultry keeping really boomed last year, so I can understand too why it's in higher demand. But also in a sense, I feel like they know like there's a lot of new enthusiasts out there, so they're not used to like the old prices, so they're just paying whatever.
Patty fed on fermented feed. Picture of a drunk chicken.
Yes.
Yeah. Just imagine a normal chicken, but just stumbling around a lot more.
Wow.
That probably work.
Piqued my interest. Yep.
Money Pet said, I personally never ate rabbit, but I think it's on the menu soon. My son wants to keep up processing day soon with. Yep.
That's awesome. And that's good that your son wants to do that. You know, I find that there's been this big call to return to the earth with homesteading. That's even though like we never should have moved away from the call to the earth, but I mean, there's a lot of people that are pushing back, obviously, because we can't.
We can't.
Hello, Bomber Steve. But it's just mainly because we can't. We cannot depend on a broken food supply chain, and we can't always just hope that the superstores are going to have what we need when we need it. Obviously, we've been talking about that a lot lately. So to see like younger generations like Joe help me with plucking ducks, and she will often go out and do lots of like little chores. That I'm like 100, and every time she does it, I'm like, good job, kiddo. Like I'm super happy to see you out doing it, because I mean, it's one of those arts that could die if we don't pass it on to the younger generation.
Well, it is in a way. I mean, you just don't see it as often as you do.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's in books you have to go read, and people
just
don't do that as often. Yeah. So
this is true. And nobody just sits down with like an old timer or someone that's more experienced or has done something a lot and says, share your wisdom. Everybody just like Googles it.
And that's one thing I want to do this winter is actually start a collection of the Foxfire books and sit down and read some of them. I mean, there's just so much knowledge in those. If you guys haven't looked at them, they just got a little bit of everything. They cover a broad range of material, though. It's just across the board. But
they do. And some of the things that they actually used to go by, well, it's a lot like the Farmer's Almanac, like telling you like the best time to breed or the best time to have animals birthed on your farm or the best time to plant things. Like there's method to that madness. Some people like they just pull that out of their butt. I'm like, no, there's science and there's patterns that they're going off of that generationally have been proven to work and are pretty spot on. At least in my experience, they've been pretty spot on.
Yeah. Patty said we raised rabbits from meat for a while. After we moved to Oregon, it was really good meat, very lean and easy to digest. Mom fried it and made a stew of it mostly.
The lean meats are always just so nice. You can dress them up a lot easier too. Darren, I know thinking of Mark in yoga pants may need you to leave the live, but you can hang out for just a little bit longer.
Probably better in your mind than it would probably actually look
like. I doubt that.
Drop said I grew a bunch of black seed sunflowers this year.
We harvested a lot. This year
You've got them drying out right now in our.
Farm. They're drying. They're hung up off the ceiling so that the stupid mice can't get them.
Yeah. Well, Bomber Steve got an update on his farm. He said, going well, got the orchard fencing almost finished. Just got to hang a couple of gates, tension some wire, and some clipping.
That's awesome.
Still a lot of work ahead, but
like but hey, it's nice when you get the light at the end of the tunnel, because then if you're like us, you get to like 95% and you're like, good enough, and walk away from it.
He said, I'm in precautionary ISO at the moment. Had to go to town yesterday for work, and they're now in lockdown. I'm fully vaccinated, but my son and many students I support aren't, so waiting on testing results.
And that's safe. That's good. At least you're waiting for your test results.
Yep. Patty, my mom told my dad that she would only help him with harvesting our rabbits if she didn't know who they were.
Yeah.
Dad had to skin the rabbits before bringing them to her finish and cut them up. Teamwork. There you go.
And good for him, though, for making it to where, like, even though she was sensitive to that, like, making it where she could still help and benefit from that. I see, like, a lot of insensitivity sometimes, like, on the Facebook forums where I'm like, it's okay to be sensitive about harvesting meat. It's okay to feel a connection to the animal, and good for your dad for kind of making it to where they could work as a team. I think people need to have a little bit more give and take in situations like that, instead of people like, just get over it. And I'm like, some people can't just get over it. Like that, if they had someone like your dad that would partner with them, then they could kind of get over it. They could still have the experience that they need to have and be more self-sufficient from it. That's a really enlightening story.
You don't have a connection to it.
Yes, even the chickens, even the dumb dinosaur chickens.
Not to name them, and
it always happens. The dumb dino chickens that bit me every time I tried to feed them or reached down to move their tractor, bit me. I still felt bad.
Yep.
Even though they bit me all the time.
During fermented feed, our pigs have been getting leftovers from our fermenting stuff, so trying to see if they get drunk off the waste, but nothing so far.
Hey, you never know, and I hope you never have to treat with it like for goats. Like a pretty heavy lager, like a dark stout beer.
Okay, but if it works.
If it works, it works.
Bomber Steve said, I'm living in a 4-bedroom villa at the university. I've gone back to my student days.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Bless your heart.
As long as you're not staying up late and partying, Steve, then you're good shape.
Oh, my goodness.
Darren, the person channel, Kirsten Dunk, something or other, recently interviewed a guy who traveled with his goats, gorilla grazing. The guy was a wealth of knowledge. There you go.
That's actually a big thing in the States, too, for people that will, like, rent out herds to come and clear out the undesirable underbrush, because as you guys know, goats don't graze, they browse. So they usually want like poison ivy, poison sumac. They eat all this stuff like we don't want to deal with.
Which is one reason we have trouble keeping them sometimes in our pasture, because the property next door has a lot of overgrowth.
A lot of honeysuckle.
Yeah.
A lot of
and
things
they
that
definitely
they want.
desire to go over there more than just the plain grass.
We will battle that here probably in like the next couple of months, because I found like even after the first hard frost, where the grass and the browse lower to the ground starts to go, the honeysuckle are much hardier and they will start breaking out.
Yeah.
And that will be no bueno.
And even though the leaves have sort of died off or dried up, they still seek them out over just what's fodder's underground. From
it doesn't matter. Even if we had honeysuckle bushes in their pen, they'd be like, we don't want these, we want those.
Yeah, definitely. Job said, if you feed your hogs beer, they are beer frogs. I like
there you go. See, you're one step ahead in processing. One step ahead in processing.
Yep.
But guys, I hate to say it, because of my dental work, my jaw is aching. Like it hurts. So I'm gonna have to wrap it up because I'm a big time wimp. But I have.
You've ever said your jaw hurt after talking so much? I'm just kidding.
You got a history book to write down?
Yeah, I would need to. But yeah,
you guys like that look?
And we got to put up the
and we do need to put up the chickens, and I need to get ready for work day tomorrow. But I have really, really enjoyed, as always, having a live with you guys, and you guys giving us time to just sit back and enjoy your company and learn some things from you. And we will be here next Wednesday. I think we don't got nothing next Wednesday, do we?
No, so far.
All righty. So I hope that you guys are taking care of yourselves. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. And we'll catch you here next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Have a great night, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.